Hello and welcome back to your regularly scheduled show with me, your host, and you. As I said in the description of my last video, I have spent the past 4 days running around a forest pretending to be a wizard. That wasn't just like me having a bit of a mad episode. It's okay, it was a genuine scheduled activity and it's called LARP. Live action roleplay. Not kinky, it's not a kink thing, I promise. For some people it is. For me it's not. And I thought we could go on. I've got the notebook out again. I thought I could tell you about generally how I found it as an autistic person. Yeah, no surprises here. I'm autistic. I've been diagnosed for I want to say 2 years. I don't know. Yes, I have the tism, sprinkling of it here and there. Sorry, I keep thinking there are people around, but it's just the house making weird creaky noises. Okay, sorry. Slight tangent. Anyone else who lives in the general UK, are your houses really creaky? Because I feel like that doesn't happen in other countries, but the brick houses are just so creaky. Every movement there's just and even at night I'll just be lying awake and it'll sound like the bricks are falling apart or something. Maybe it's just is that normal? Do you guys, does anyone else experience that, or is my house just faulty? Back to the main point. So I have a little list. I probably will go on tangents, but first of all I wanted to say it was such an incredible experience. I had so much fun. Everyone is so kind and so lovely and just really welcoming and accepting, and I kept getting handed little trinkets, so people were just giving me these things. These are just a couple of examples because I traded away a few of the other ones, but these were just people just gave these to me. Yes, people are so kind there and really welcoming, and everyone took it upon themselves to kind of take me under their wing. I was constantly being handed blankets and food. Everyone was like, "You're too skinny, eat some here, have a brownie," or "You're shivering, have my scarf." So it was really nice. Everyone was just so just such lovely people, and it was so nice. I don't generally say that about people, but it was just so nice to be around a group who just genuinely were nice and cared and were really excited to share this hobby with a new person. Now on to the actual advice. So, things that I found. The food at the particular event that I was at was really good. I found one store that I really liked and had the same meal from them every single day for lunch. But it might not be the same for you, so I would recommend bringing backup food. I still did this and I still ate a lot of my backup food. For example, I brought a lot of fresh fruit and vegetables and things with added fibre to them, because I find that a lot of food that you find at these sorts of events does not have that, so your bowels end up, how shall I say, not very happy. But yes, I brought a lot of fruit, but I found that actually there was a lot of fruit to hand out, and some of the food options were actually quite nutritious and tasty. So again, it might not be the case for you. I would recommend just bringing something just in case, enough things for every day. Tip number 2, drink lots of water. Even if you don't think you're thirsty, hydrate, and especially bring some of the electrolyte rehydration tablets. I know they don't really do much, but they at least make the water taste of something. So I find that if water tastes nice to me, I just want to drink more and more of it. I'll drink a whole bottle of squash in one sitting, whereas a water bottle like this usually takes me a couple hours to drink. Tip number 3, you don't get a lot of time without people, so if you are someone who needs that, schedule it in, have time where you can just be alone, because even if you are just sitting chilling, you will be around other people. So either go back to your tent, which not necessarily the nicest thing, or scout the area and find a place that you can go to and just chill and be alone, because it's really full on. It's amazing, but it's so full on. I mean, I got back yesterday afternoon and I am still buzzing and really missing it, but absolutely exhausted. Tip number, what are we at, 4? I can't count. There is a lot of waiting around and queues, so just be prepared for that. What I did was I'd have someone help me. I would, if I was, for example, queuing for something, I would ask someone who is more able to stand in queues for a long period of time, because not only am I autistic and have ADHD, I also can't stand for very long periods of time, or I literally faint and collapse on the floor. Yippee! Anyway, I got someone who was willing to help to take my character card just in case I wasn't there by the time you reached the front of the queue, and I would go off and do something or sit down and then occasionally pop back in and check to see how far they got in the queue, because a lot of it was moving very slowly. So this weekend was my first experience at LARP, and it was not a typical one. Various skirmishes and monstering things happened that wouldn't usually happen, and there were a lot of technical difficulties. So again, you might not have to wait in really long queues, but just in case. Also, there is a lot of waiting around, just waiting for, especially with the monstering, waiting for other groups to get ready, waiting for the refs to bring you your costumes. Oh, I should probably explain. Monstering is when you will attend probably a battle, but you can also do non-combative monstering. So you'll attend a battle not as your character, but as a monster. For example, you know, you might be like a troll or an imp or a goblin or something. I don't know why those were my first examples, I just was thinking. And you are that monster for other players who are acting as their characters to fight. Does that make sense? So when you have a battle as your character, you'll be fighting monsters, but they will be played by other players. Does that make sense? Maybe not. It does make sense once you get there. That's another tip that I haven't actually got written down. It sounds so overwhelming and stressful and scary and like weird, and you're like, what the hell's going on? I don't understand. No one's explaining to me enough. It makes sense. Like once you get there and you've, you know, spent a couple hours there and you've done your scouting around, wandering around, talking to people who know what they're doing, it generally starts to fall into place. It's not going to make complete sense after your first time. I'm still really lost as to like, especially the magic and the combat, but you kind of fall into a swing of it. And even if you don't necessarily understand, you can still have so much fun. I spent a lot of my time just wandering around doing errands for the college and getting paid in character money for that. So that's like silver, gold and copper, all the way around. Copper, silver and gold for that. And then trading. So I had the foraging and scrounging skill, and I would go up to games organization desk every morning and get my little herb cards, and then I would spend a lot of time trading and selling those, and then buying things for in-character money, which that is my favorite thing. You can buy real world things for in-character money, and it's so fun because it's basically free for you and you're helping someone. It was amazing. I'll show you some of the things I got in a minute. What other points do I have? Yes, so you don't actually realize how little time you're spending on your phone. So obviously I don't know about you, but I quite like my phone. It's got all the things on it, you know. Interesting things. Social media. Things to read, mayhaps. Things to buy. The kinky fan art I love looking at in the dark when no one knows what I'm doing. Yeah, I like my phone, and I would say, unfortunately, yeah, I spend too much time on it. Maybe I'm a little bit addicted. That's a problem I can deal with later. Right now, it's fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, when you're busy like running around in the forest doing all these things and tasks, you really don't realise how little time you spent on your phone. Like one day I think my screen time was about 34 minutes, which is insanely low for me. Usually it's in like 3 to 4 hours, which I know it's still not that bad, but when I see it, I'm like, oh, that's not good. I just found that I was having so much fun that I didn't even notice. I didn't really miss it. Like, I did occasionally get it out to just check up, see what I'd missed, because boy, does social media like to exist when you can't look at it. People like to do things where you can't possibly know what they're doing. But that was really it. And the rest of the time I was just having fun, like sitting, chatting with people. And I honestly had so much fun just talking with people because everyone's there is so like interesting. Everyone has some sort of story. I think that was most of my tips. I just have a couple of the points, but for now I wanted to show you. I took a few clips and videos, so I'll insert them here. I've just got back from the showers and there's a caterpillar crawling around on my boot. Bro, what's he doing? Look at his little feet, he's on the move. Excuse me, little guy. You shouldn't be here. And now that you've seen that, I hope you enjoyed, I thought I would show you some of the things that I did buy. So this little guy, I bought him for in-game money, so I technically did not spend a cent on him. Supposedly he glows in the dark, so let's check that now. Are you ready? Is he glowing? No. That's sad. Well, let's test that out some other time. I'll leave him to charge in the sunlight, and next video we can see. And I also got this one who also glows in the dark, but listen. He rattles. Okay, darkness, but I've left the troll charging out all day in the sun. Are you ready to test it? Here he is. Sorry, the imp. Oh my god. Wait. It's kind of faint, but can you see that? Like his face? In real life, it's... That's so cool. And then for real life money, I got this. Oh my god, it's tangled. Oh. If you don't like the concept of dead animals and fur or skin, look away. 3, 2, 1. I'm showing it now. I bought this. It's a rabbit fur, and I did ask how they sourced it because I'm very conscious about that. And it was from, so every like Easter they have to do rabbit culls in sort of wildish areas because otherwise the population just gets a little bit ahead of itself and there's too many bunnies. So this was from that, and it is so gorgeous, and I wish you could feel how soft it is. It is genuinely the softest thing ever. Like, dare I say, it's softer than my cat, and she is the nicest thing you'll ever touch. And it's such gorgeous colouring too. I really wouldn't expect this from a wild rabbit. They're normally kind of browner in the UK, but it's really kind of nice greys. Let me shine a light. Shine, shine, shine your light. Sorry, I don't even think that's how the song goes. Anyway, it's really lovely, and he was only a tenner, which I think quite good, arguably. And he's still got his little fluffy tail. I love it so much. It's so soft. Anyway, that's enough of that bright light. God, my eyes. And I also got this. This was for in-game money. I wouldn't normally do this, but they were offering it, and the people who were doing it just seemed like just seemed so lovely. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll patronize your business. So I paid to have a tarot reading and a portrait done of myself. Yeah, this is kind of what I look like. So face reveal, I guess. I look slightly less cartoony, but I love it so much. And the tarot reading basically said, I'm insecure. I need to follow my heart and dreams, believe in myself, and people are nicer than I think. Which is quite funny. I was like, bro, the cards, that's too much. That's too personal. I don't care if that's accurate. Too much right now. The cards do not need to know that. In total, not including food, because I did buy food, and boy was it spenny, but it was also really good. On non-necessary things, I spent £35. I got the fur, I got some arm braces, so like kind of gauntlet-y armor things, and I got this little bottle in like a leather leaf holder thing, which I might have a picture of. I'll show it here. Yeah, so that was my experience at LARP, and some tips for you. It is worth noting that I feel like there aren't generally many new people to it. Like, the communities and the people who I've met have been doing it for years, and new people, I think, from what I gathered, are quite an exciting thing. But also at the same time, there are a lot more people than you realise who it is their first time, or, you know, their second or third time. So both you will be exciting and slightly exceptional, but there are other people out there like you. So kind of just... So, like, my advice for it is go out there, have fun, don't give a shit, and literally just be yourself, or be your character. That's the amazing thing. You can just be someone else for an entire weekend. You can be a character. You can walk up to some random person, say something to them, and if you completely screw the conversation, that's fine. You can just say, oh no, my character's really socially inept. That wasn't me. And it's amazing. So go forth, my friends, and go to LARP and have so much fun that you shit yourself with excitement and die right then and there on the floor. I'll see you next week. Little butterfly update. They were doing fine when I checked on them this morning. I've moved them to their new habitat. They were fine when I checked them this morning, but something seems to have happened to this middle one, and I don't know what. I think it might have died, which is really weird, because like I said, it seemed fine this morning. But
let's hope the others are still alive.